Black sector, huh? This black sector YouTubers trash, the back and forth is stupid. Keeping all niggas included, all y'all niggas stupid. Tough talking, sissy fight units. Booty paddle hopping niggas prove it. Always wanna fight but never do it. I keep it moving, it never fails, they not improving. Talking circles to death, stuff, they not blooming. I heard this nigga talking like he got businesses. Bum fight, still those USBs, but no witnesses. I always cringe when he preaches fucking faggot.
Emma the General, also known as the Brand. See, we got a video from Ball Sucking Cocklicker. That's a video pumping out, he'll pick Tina's racism over proven pedos. I haven't seen this yet, so this will be my first time keying in as to what he's talking about. But automatically, I agree with him. No debate. Pedos are running rampant in these YouTube streets. Rampant. And I have to say, because the black sector is the bottom, like the bottom of the barrel, where scum, racists, pedos, pervs, stalkers, woman beaters, they're all able to mingle here peacefully. The worst that the worst that ever happens to them is what? A phone call to a pizza shop. None of them get put behind bars. Apparently, for people who have children, because they say some mean things in a roast sector, get CPS called on them. FBI. But not for pedos, nope. Pedos are okay, apparently. Let's listen.
I feel like I'm in a twilight zone, because on one hand, we have like Tina, who's calling people niggers and all this other shit. And then she's saying this for two reasons. A, because she can't say it. And B, because they're calling her like a spick and shit. They're like, you're a spick and you're, a dirty Cuban spick, all that shit.
I spoke about this before. Let me help you out there, ball sucking cocklicker. It all boils down to hypocrisy within the black community in this particular black sector. They don't believe that they're being racist. Sorry, let me correct that. It's okay for them to be racist because of what happened to the predecessors, the ancestors back in slavery. It's okay to be racist. It's okay.
So that's like the first hand. And then like the second hand, you have Jimmy, who admits to being a proud pedophile, who specifically targets black children and specifically talks about wanting to rape black children and specifically has his specific pedophilic fantasies surround around black children because Jimmy's a predator. And he knows in this society, this is a white supremacist society. And so being a predator, he knows that the most vulnerable people in our society is actually black children.
Unfortunately, this is true. We're the most gullible, the most moved, because we're an emotional set of people. And could be easily convinced by word of mouth. Not all of us, but a large amount of us. I would say the majority of us. Fortunately, I do not fall in that category, and it doesn't appear as if ball sucking cocklicker does either.
That's just a fact. If we're at the bottom of the totem pole and all socio factors as black people, then the ones who are the most vulnerable are going to be the children. And so Jimmy targets these black children specifically because they're black and we live in a white supremacist society, and because he's a predator. And he talks about how he wants to rape them, both boys and girls. He doesn't distinguish between the two.
Clearly, more facts are being dropped. It's interesting how a lot of people don't address the fact that this pedo is still on these YouTube streets. Everybody still talks to him with laughter in their voice, with jokes, still lets them on their panel, still gives them phone calls, still talks to them like everything's all jovial. You know, I guess they don't really take him that serious, right? No, they won't let them around their children, but it's okay to have a conversation with a pedo, right? Interesting.
To rape little black boys and little black girls. And then when you say this to people, they'll say something like, hey man, you act like it's like a moral place or something like that. You got morals or something like that? You don't got no morals around here. You can say what the fuck you want to say. I'm like, oh.
I know what he's talking about. In this particular black sector, it doesn't work out that way. Unfortunately, the bullshit, the efforting, all of that, all of that to go. So even when it comes down to, you know, the pedo stuff, it's a pass. You know, I could even call out some names to say that, you know, they're all in it to, you know, they agree. They all agree with it. They still support him. They still go up on his channel. They still, you know, have these conversations with him. Me, I would never, ever, ever entertain anyone that's into raping children. Ever. There's no conversation. Let's say I'm on a live show. Once I see him popping up, no, he's cut. You are not ever allowed to talk to me, ever.
I don't got morals like that. I just felt that it was a universal code that the pedophile gets stitches. The pedophile gets close ranks on.
That's not true. The black sector, sorry, let me correct that. Lamar's sector accepts it. Lamar Wills, that sector, even the dark side as they all call it, they all accept it. It's weird.
They're racist. Like, even in prison, I mean, and I'm not trying to say that prison reflects society, but what I'm saying is they're going to try to say something about some morals and shit. I'm like, well, in prison, we can agree that there's a lot of people there that have very low morals, if none at all, exist there. Yet, somehow, these people, both black and white, and Hispanic, they all can get together in close ranks around a pedophile. Even though, in terms of their way of life, that shouldn't be, because they're different races and they should be at odds with one another, which they should be. But
it's interesting how he's saying something similar to what I'm saying. It's almost as if him and I have the same belief system. I don't believe I've ever heard ball-sucking cocklicker ever even talk to this guy, this pedo, or even entertain his antics. But, you know, there's this woman out there, all from Cali. She's a heavy supporter of this guy, this pedo. Another guy that can't read. And a bunch of others as well. But those are the main henchmen, unfortunately, that support this pedo. I find it odd.
Prison, but they can at least close ranks on pedophiles together, to the point where pedophiles have to be put in protective custody. They can't even be put in a general population, even if they're white or black or whatever, or any race, doesn't matter. So you look at these two factors, and I've seen a bunch of black people siding with the pedophile because he's black. And that is the most disgustingest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Let me help you out there, ball-sucking cocklicker. Pause. Pause. The entire black sector supports it. I would say that none of them have the common decency to, make a move. None of them. They made moves calling the FBI, calling the cops on people for stupid things. Stupid things. Their belief system is elsewhere, but they're okay with this guy talking about children. It's weird.
And again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't. Here's my philosophy. I like it when people show you who they are. In situations that requires some kind of character. So the fact of the matter is, Tina stood up to Jimmy and called out his pedophilia. And ever since then, they had odds. Because Tina was like, nah, bro. Okay, we rode for a little bit with it, but I'm just not cool with it anymore. Yeah, at the beginning, I kind of looked the other way, like a lot of people around you do. But know what? Fuck you, dude. I'm done. See, that was Tina's fucking turn. And when the bastards who support Jimmy tell me he's acting, and it's only for shock value, he does that. It says that about black children.
Yeah. Acting. Could you imagine taking the role in this particular sector as an acting pedo? Is that still okay?
I ask you, if that's the case, why get mad at Tina? Tina being disgusted by Jimmy's pedophilia is a natural reaction that any natural, conscionable person would have.
These are facts. And I agree with Boss like a cocklicker. I would take Tina's racism over this guy any day. There's a lot of people in there that are racist, man. And it's just not the whites, it's these Negroes. Nobody has the right to be racist. Nobody.
He should know that if he's acting, right? He should be like, of course you should be disgusted by me. I'm a pedophile. Of course. He doesn't say that. He actually gets offended, not even by being called a pedophile, which he's proud of being, but the fact that she would have the audacity to even, call him out for that. When, as he said, she's a racist. And they were cool, and he had no problem with that. But this is the same guy who's going to tell you about Tina being a racist. I'm just not going to, I'm sorry, you're not going to do that to me, bro. You and I come from two different worlds, bro. We were raised in two different worlds, man. I was raised around too many real motherfuckers to allow a coon-ass bitch like you try to use the, what does Malcolm X say? Run amok. Fuck, I forgot the whole thing, but, you're not going to do that. Bamboozle. You're not going to try to bamboozle.
Good one, because I was going to jump in.
With race. When you're the same guy who said that Tamir Rice deserved to be shot because he had a toy gun. But he's going to scream, Eric Garner, Tina, you said that Rush should be Eric Garner. Okay. You said that Tamir Rice, a child, deserved to be killed and murdered. Murdered. I'm not going to say killed. He was murdered. That's okay, according to Jimmy. Man, you're such a fucking coon, dude. And
it goes beyond coon, boss like a cocklicker. It goes way beyond that, bro. Way beyond coon.
So, the thing is, if you're scared to call Jimmy out for what he is, shut the fuck up about Tina being a racist. That's the way I feel. She calls him a nigger, and we should feel bad for that. He says he wants to rape black children specifically because they are black, and he targets them because they're black, and he wouldn't dare say this about any white child.
I would choose Tina's racism over this guy's Peter ways.
Not wants to, he gets a pass. And you know what? The more I think about it now, Jimmy, I can't blame you, bro. You tried to kamikaze yourself. And you did it the best way you could, which is by claiming yourself to be a pedophile. Who would have known that you would have gotten more support from people than you?
The reason why is because, unfortunately, a lot of these people in this sector are clinically insane, need psychiatric attention, help, need to be banned from the internet. Phone devices, TV, everything needs to be removed completely. They need a friend. They need Jesus on their side. Because unfortunately, these clowns are in a position whereas they're causing destruction, mayhem, and chaos all over the place. And it's unfortunate that they're able to find like-minded people who agree with them and support this bullshit. Damn shame.
Had before. He comes out and says he's a pedophile, and he gets more support. They don't close ranks on him. They click his link.
And you know why they continue to click his link and support this clown? All because they have this hate for this one guy, Lamar Wills. Oh my goodness. Like, this is ridiculous. This man, Bumbles the clown, the bum of the sector. This guy, all he does is drop jokes. He just roasts people. He uses your words against yourself. He says it all the time. I'm using your own docs against you. The same thing that Steve tried to do to this guy the other day. This guy is doing it to everyone, and everyone gets mad at the fact that he's replaying what they said, and he's pointing out the fact that they're doing something wrong. So they get mad at him for shining a light on highlighting the stupid things that they're saying. Can you imagine? So the fact that he's pointing out the things that you are doing to him and to society believe is wrong, you feel that it's bad because now you feel shame. Now you got to call the cops. Now you got to go about the place and come on, man. This isn't me topping this guy off. This is me calling out the fact that this is what's happening here. This is what's happening. So nobody's able to call this guy out, and nobody will call this guy out for being a pedo. I've never even heard of these people call him that. They'll look at this guy, Bumbles, Lamar Wills. They'll call this guy, he has to live with his mom. He's bumming off of women and all this kind of stuff. But and he accepts it for who he accepts himself. Why can't y'all stand up for what you say? Stand up.
And they want me to look at Tina and say, "Oh dear, you said nigger. Oh my God, how could you say that in 2023? I can't take that word. My ancestors, they all fumbled a lot more. They were killed and butchered and everything else. But Tina, you said nigger, and I'm just so weak as a black man. I can't take it all. It's all circle jerk. It's all circle jerk."
If black people really want to, want people to stop calling. If black people want other races to stop calling us nigger and nigga and all that kind of whatever stuff, you should stop doing it yourself. Start with yourself and stop doing it. If you take that out of your vocabulary and you start talking to each other in a different way, probably other people will find the common decency to realize, they don't talk like that to each other. They talk like this. Haven't you noticed? whenever you talk to a white person, you don't say, yo, what up, nigga? You say, hey, how you doing? Don't you notice how you talk different? Because that's how they talk to each other. But whenever you talk to a black person, you feel a certain way. There's more, there's less respect that you would give to the other black person. There's more leniency. There's more relaxation involved. Haven't you ever noticed that? So the way you would talk to another black person is more disrespectful than how you would talk to a white person or another race, period. Haven't you ever noticed that? I see it all the time. I know a bunch of people, whole bunch of black friends, but once they start talking to a white person, they treat them differently. I hate it. I hate it.
And cry because Tina said nigger. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, bro. You are a punk ass, bitch ass coon, dude, whose record when it comes to white women in the sector is embarrassing and just, it's just embarrassing. The record is embarrassing, bro, when it comes to specifically white women. And this is the guy that's leading the charge about Tina being a racist? Only in the Twilight Zone can you claim to be a pedophile and so-called black people hold you up and say, yeah, yeah, and then go to look at Tina and say, you're a racist, Tina, but Jimmy, he's a logical, sensible person. That's what he is. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Am I wrong here?
Nope.
Right, I mean, can someone tell me, am I wrong here? Should I be supporting the pedophile coon who targets black children and wants to have sex with them and talks about his pedophilic fantasies with them because he knows they're the most vulnerable? Or should I be mad at this so-called racist because she says nigger because they call her spick and it's just a fair game and a fair fight?
Boss, I can call you later. Don't worry, bro. There's a few of us on your side. There's a few people out here like me who view the world how you view it, whereas people like this should be shunned, banned, killed, removed, eradicated from this earth. No jail. No jail, no. Finished. There's no room for people like this. Children are the most innocent kids out there right now. From the beginning of time to the end of time. They're the most vulnerable, and yet a lot of people take advantage of them, which is not cool at all. So we got this pedo running through the bottom of the garbage pail in Black Sector YouTube, talking this bullshit, thinking that it's okay, and of course he's going to continue on and get the support, because who's really going to do anything about it? Nobody. Emmett the General signing out. Peace.